I'm Elijah McCaden.
I'm Kobe White, and I'm committed to the North Carolina Tar Heels.
And when we're in town,
we watch Lady J.
Jay Jenkins, you're sick for this one, baby. What? Hey, come on. Lady J's montage is a show to watch for the mom and the children and the pops, giving life to the community. In the community, there'll be more unity. Sit back, relax, take a look. Give me 28 minutes and you'll be hooked. Lady J's montage. Lady J, what? Lady J, what? Lady J, huh? Lady J, what? Hey. Lady J's montage is a show to watch for your mom and the children and the pops, giving life to the community. In the community, there'll be more unity. Sit back, relax, take a look. Give me 28 minutes and you'll be hooked. Lady J's montage. Lady J, let's go! Hi everybody, today we are exploring the world of culture through photography with Jerome De Perlinghi. This is Lady J and I'm so happy to have you, sir.
Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Yes, I've seen your artwork and I'm very, very impressed. And I wanted everybody to know about what it is you do, why do you do it, and what is your purpose, and who's involved?
So, the idea started a little more than 3 years ago with Eyes on Main Street. I had a personal show at the Arts Center, Arts Council right across the door here. Mm-hmm. And so I photographed for about 30 months after moving here, the people of Wilson.
Okay,
so
where are you from?
I'm originally from Belgium. But
I love your accent.
I lived 11 years in Chicago before moving here.
Okay.
And so I photographed about 30 months the people of Wilson. Mm-hmm. And so we had a big show in early January 2014. Mm-hmm. And so the city of Wilson, to promote the show, blew up 7 large photographs. We put 3 on Nash Street, 2 on Gold Street, 2 on Tabor Street. And when I saw the 7 photographs there, I said, we should have done the whole show outside. Mm-hmm. And so I talked to my dad in Belgium every day, so we Skype. And so we said, why don't you do something else? Why did you do another show? And so the idea of Eyes on Main Street, the main show, outdoor show, started right there. And the idea was basically to try to, put together an international show. Mm-hmm. Now, when you start something, you never really know if you're going to be successful or not. So I did contact about 10 friends, photographers living in 3 different countries. And so within a week, all the 10 friends said, oh wow, it looks like a really great idea. So we formally committed together, and then some people said, yeah, you have 10, but between 10 and 100 is a big difference.
Yes.
But I knew from the very beginning that, getting the photographers was not going to be the difficult part. It's probably the artistic part of the festival was definitely going to be the easy part. And so we start, putting a few people together with a committee of about 10 people. And so we start to dream about Eyes on Main Street. This is, we're going back, this is 2014, so, by then it's May and June. So we contact the photographers. And so within about 2 months, like by July, we have a list of roughly 100 photographers.
Oh wow, this is like an international activity? The artists that you speak of, from what countries?
Yes, every show, we had, this is the 3rd edition you have outside right there. We have photographers coming from more than 30 different countries. So with 31 this year, and with 30 last year, and 29 the first year. And so, meaning some of them come from Taiwan, some of them from Mongolia. The Mongolian photographers was here for the opening weekend. And so it was very clear in my head that it was going to be very international. Another idea that popped up, the very first year, we realized that we had too many men at first in the list of photographers. And so every year, every show, we had a parity of 50 men photographers and 50 women photographers. It doesn't happen too often, Even in the world of art, just like, or in the politics, if you look into politics, it never happens, And so we're really proud of that. And it was very well received, especially by the women photographers all around the world. So they were very sensitive to that idea that, it's 50-50. And so up to this day, that's exactly what we do. And we are actually preparing the 4th edition now as we speak. And we'll have 50-50. So let's backtrack again then, so this is 2014. So the one thing you need to do if you're going to put something like that together, you need to have some kind of funding.
Yes.
And so that's probably the most difficult part, especially at first. I mean, now it's getting a bit easier because people know exactly what we're going to try to do. But the first year, I remember very well when we talked to people like, we're going to put large photographs. They thought, like a 15 by 25 is a large photograph. So when you know that the largest photograph in the show is not 15 or 25, it's 135 inches wide.
Oh.
So people kind of didn't really understand at first what we meant by really, really large photographs. And so we moved forward to basically the end of the year, 2014, and so everything is pretty much in place.
Okay.
And so we raised the money through many private donors in Wilson. So I must say that the people of Wilson have been very supportive of us. There's a lot of people out there who really love the idea, and some people can afford $25, some people can afford $250.
You take whatever you can get, huh?
And we love every donation, because we have $50,000 in Wilson County. Everybody who's giving $2 would be enough,
Oh yes, so you got it all figured out.
That's it. So and then we're ready, and so we launched in May 2015 the first edition, and so we got popular, I think, right away. But it was a good shock for people when they saw, wow, this is what you mean by large photographs.
It was for me because you have such a variety of subjects in your pictures, and they're not only just local, they're international pictures. So I think those artists that you have from other countries targeted their particular country. But it is wonderful because you can see people strolling the streets now. You're bringing people downtown to look at your work, your project.
And we really, from the very beginning, it is definitely there's an educational part to it.
Yes.
We see sometimes young children, 12, 13 years old, and so you stay behind them and you hear what they say. Oh wow, now I get a chance to travel too, so they see exactly what it looks like in the middle of China, for example. So, on a really big photograph, I mean, everybody has photography. Most people look at photography through their phone. The phone screen is about this size. So there's a difference between a wall size and this size. So there's all kind of little details that you discover. I walk the show every day, and every day there's a little thing more that I see that I didn't see the day before.
Sure.
And I know the photographs pretty well, because I put them.
Yeah, you know every nook and cranny.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so it was really kind of an awakening for many people. And so when you're successful the first year, of course, then you start moving to the second year, and then the second year is a little more successful than the third year. And I can say this year, this is the third edition, we've been really successful. We had, like I said, 31 international photographers on the opening weekend. So that's pretty good. We're talking people who travel from Cambodia, Taiwan, Singapore, South America, Europe. And so we really enjoy that moment. There's another part we're really proud of. Everything is free. Every activity is free. So during the opening weekend, for example, we had 4 lectures by really 4 famous international artists.
Okay.
And so we don't want to charge people because we want to give everyone the opportunity to come.
That's really good.
Let's say a kid from the other side of the tracks may not have $10 or $20 to spend.
Yes.
Compared to somebody who lives more the Brentwood area. Well, not a problem because that
everybody's equal.
That you live east or west. You don't need any dollar to come and see whatever you want to see.
Yes.
So we really, I think that's a very important part of the festival, and we're really very proud of that. And so then, because of this lecture, we invite international artists. And then the first year, in 2014, we had Peter Fitzpatrick, who's the chair of the photography department at Columbia College Chicago. He came for a workshop. So he worked with 7 local photographers, and so they had like almost a whole day workshop. And so Peter Fitzpatrick met Reverend Bell, and so together to talk a little bit about project. What can we do with kids? Because as you know, Reverend Bell runs the program Save A Youth, after school program here in Wilson. And so we start talking then, organizing the second year about, how can we expand? And so Peter said, I think, I can convince my dean in Chicago to do like a longer project, like a week-long project. And you can see these photographs on the BB&T building right now, because the photographs from last year, from the kids of last year, big size on the BB&T building. And you should see, if you have a chance one day to see a kid who has a photograph hanging on the BB&T building, they say, wow. Because
very impressive.
Yes, the photograph almost as big as the professional one. So the kid, is like 12 years old, and I have a big picture on the BB&T building. So I think for the community, and so for the message we want to give to the community, that is very strong, because it shows that whenever you give a chance to a kid to do well, he will do well.
An opportunity to really partake and be engaged. But I'm going to take a stroll down the street and put it on the show so that people can actually see what you're talking about. And as an English teacher, I think it's really important to see visuals and images because they make the best stories when you write.
Of course.
Like you say, it takes them to that particular country, that particular area, firsthand. And what are some of the subjects in these pictures?
So basically the subject, so the kids would come here, it's after school, of course, the kids go to school first, so they arrived around 4:15. Many of these kids, so the first year, which last year, 117 kids participated in this program. So we did ask, how many of you have worked with the camera before? And so only 3, 4, raised their hand, because most people now shoot with, cell phone. The phone. And so Canon USA is a big sponsor of the program, so they lend us the cameras, so we have professional style cameras. We're talking cameras that come out 2 months ago, with flip screen and everything, just kind of like latest model.
The best
of the best. And then they get a presentation by Peter Fitzpatrick, there's like a little crash course into photography. Yes. And then the kids go out in small groups of 5 or 6 with the docent. We have last year was only from Chicago kids, graduated from Columbia College. But this year we include also local photographers. Sean Larkin, for example, is a local photographer, and so he's been taking kids out as well. And so they go out with 1 or 2 docents, 5 or 6 kids. And so they walk around town. So basically, you can walk in 2 hours. You can walk from here to basically Manchester Street. And then the kid photograph pretty much what he or she wants to photograph. So sometimes the role of the docent say, did you look that way? But we're not going to say you have or you must photograph.
Yes.
It's the kid who must feel.
So you allow them to use their own creativity and their own visual spectrum of what they see to make it come alive and what they think is so important.
Exactly, and I think that's really the way to do it. So we bring them to a street where there's something to photograph, we believe, but in the end, it's the kid that must decide what he or she wants to photograph. So that it works really well. So last year they shot about 11,000 photographs. This year a little less. We had 97 kids, but I don't have the exact number for this year, but it's around 10,000 images, so like that.
Oh my goodness.
And the gallery you see here right outside, we have about 300 photographs on the wall. Each kid is represented because, we found a way to put the name of the kid on each photograph. So you've got the name, the caption on each photograph. And so each kid has at least 2 photographs on the wall. And
that's wonderful.
Some of them are better, and then we had a private opening before the main opening of the main festival at 4 p.m. with a private opening with the kids, their siblings, their teachers, and so on.
Okay.
And you should see,
they
come with the parents, and the parents are proud of the kid, and the kids see a big picture with his name underneath. So it's a program that's running really well. And I can already tell you that Canon USA has signed up for a new workshop next year. So we'll have it again next year. You must know, and you'll be surprised with this, Canon USA only runs 4 workshops like these in the whole United States every year. 4 in the whole United States. This is a big country. This is not a small country. So meaning that for the rest of the country now, for 3 years, there's only 3 programs left. So we compete with New York City or with Seattle or with Los Angeles. They come to us.
You started.
So that's we really kind of very happy. The kids program, we're very happy with the kids program.
Yes, and thank you for allowing young people. Sometimes they don't know what they want to do, but giving them the exposure, making it free. So parents, all you have to do is come in and find out how to get your child involved. Canon is being a great sponsor. It's just a win-win situation. Yes. And I'm so happy that you're getting more interest. You're getting more funding. It is growing. And I look forward to walking down the street and capturing the pictures. What other projects have you worked on or are you going to work on?
So we try to expand, the festival each year. So this year we started with one exhibit in 2015. So we had last year with actually 3 exhibits. If you include the kids gallery that was built up as the festival was starting, and then this year we're up to 6 exhibitions. So because you have 2 exhibitions inside the Imagination Station. You have a contemporary Taiwanese photography show on the 3rd floor, plus the Before Facebook exhibit, which are all photographs, from 1830 roughly to 1970. Those photographs have been found online. It's just to show that photography did exist before Facebook.
Yes.
Some people think that
Facebook started everything.
No, just like and we have photographs that 150 years old, small photographs, tin types, print on metal. So it's actually, again, for children, I think it's a very interesting exhibition to go and see. And then we have on Goldsboro Street, we rented a space where we had Harriet Youssef, which is a Palestinian photographer, who is also a grad student from Columbia College in Chicago. And so there's a show about Palestine, not the violence, because that region is a bit violent, no problem with Israel, but he wanted to concentrate on the daily life of the people. So just to show that even in
turmoil,
these people have to live, and so you photograph markets, you photograph stores and things like that. We're going to start an artist in residence program. So meaning that we posted online, we have 6 openings where international photographers or national photographers, it's open to professional photographers. You must submit a file, you website and so on. Will come and live with us for a month. So it starts September 1st. It will start on September 1st. And so the goal is to build, a really large portfolio by international artists from, a portfolio about Wilson. So they will shoot in and around the county. So it's not only the city, the county. And if we're successful, we will continue that program. So the goal is to have every month a different artist. One may be coming from New Zealand, the other one may come from Kansas City, and so it will be for one man there will be one woman, and so on. So and we'll see after 6 months, because this is new, like I said. After 6 months we'll get together and we'll see what are we successful? Is it exactly what we planned? And so those 6 photographers will also have an exhibition space. I don't know yet where, because I'm working on that now. It's too early. We have another 10 months before we need to do this. But I will most likely rent another space, and we'll take maybe 10 good photographs from each artist, and we'll have a private show with 60 photographs. And that private show, I think, will be quite interesting, because remember, all the subject will be within the county, so people would either recognize the building, the inside of the building, or somebody may photograph the people, somebody may go Sunday churches, and so it should really be quite interesting for the community, because the community is going to recognize itself in that show. So and so that's really brand new. I mean, like I said, we've been working on it for a few months, but it was announced at 5 p.m. yesterday. So so this is not 5 p.m. today. So this is news. Okay, this is.
Well, I really like your inclusiveness, and you're making it so that people are a part of what you're doing, and I can see this expanding to different counties and becoming much greater than what it is. So I'm really glad. Am I like the first one to have you on the air on this project?
Yes, I mean, well, UNCTV, there was UNCTV was here, so and that definitely helped us a lot, because when it airs, the following 2 weeks, you definitely see more traffic. We had people from Raleigh, we had people from Durham. We also did buy 3 advertisements in the News and Observer, and we see the difference. So some people may say it may be a bit pricey, but it's definitely worthwhile.
It's worth it.
It's worth it, because one of our goals, of course, is to open up the city. We want to attract more people, because we have plenty. For example, through preservation of Wilson, we have plenty of empty houses. So Raleigh, the market becomes really inexpensive. So we want to convince people, well, come and live in Wilson, come and live with us. You can drive to work and then come back. And so because here you can buy a house for 1/10 or 1/20 of the price you would pay in Raleigh.
Yes.
And so therefore it's quite important to be able to attract, people
Yes.
from the Triangle for sure. But then don't get me wrong, we have people who come much further and stay overnight, and that's also what we
That
like.
helps the economy as well, yes.
Because we had a letter from the Holiday Inn, after the first 2 weeks of the festival, telling us, wow, this definitely makes a difference for us. It definitely brings
That's good.
a lot of more rooms. We sell a lot more rooms because of the festival. So yes, I mean it's not only for us, but also for the others.
Yes.
And then the others, of course, help pay for the economy. Last Friday, there's a group from Greenville. Well, we 10 people. We went to have lunch at Big Howell's, on Tarver Street. So well, that's another 10 meals for Big Howell that
Yes.
you would not have received if the festival was not here. And so if you did another 10 meals every day,
Right.
at the end of the festival, it's a lot of meals for everyone.
So this has just turned into great for the culture, great for the economy, great for teaching, great for self-awareness and more people getting involved from different countries, self-discovery of a new habit, a new hobby for young people, people of all ages. It's unlimited.
Yes.
I think that you really have stumbled on something here. I heard you use the word "if it's going to happen" because it's so great. Now, have you ever thought about putting all of this into a book or books?
Well, we do have a catalog, so we publish a catalog with basically the photographs from the 100
Yes.
professional photographers. Last year we also had a book with the kids' photographs. We're talking about trying to make another one with the kids' photographs as well. So so there's a trace, and so every year I go to the library, I give them a number of copies because I want someone to be able in 50 years to see what happened here. The kids' photographs, when we're done here, go to the Children's Museum across the street. So they'll be kept there all together. The Children's Museum.
All right.
So somebody stepping in 25 years from now, and
They could see.
they could decide to do something. So like a little time capsule of these
Yes.
years, about Wilson.
Okay. Okay, and I would love to get some of your contact information so that people who are interested can grow with you and they can go to your website and see your information as well. Anything else you want to add?
Well, one thing, that's also important, I think we are proud of, because remember, I'm not from here, I'm
Yes.
originally from Europe, I live in Chicago as well. But what I really like with the festival, we're really proud of that it brings the different communities together. For me, from the very beginning, before we start hanging one photo, it was very clear to me that, we needed to hang photographs on the other side of the tracks as well.
Yes.
So we have both sides of the track. Because as you know, the tracks are a little bit like a frontier, so
like a division
and things like that. And so for me, it was very important. There's some kind of interesting stories the first year. Now no more because we changed that mentality. But the first year, so I would stand by the train station on this side of the tracks, and so I would see people come, little groups of people come, and so by the train tracks they would stop and turn around. So I would stop them and say, "There's more photographs on the other side." I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm totally sure because I'm the one who
put them there."
I said, "I'm totally sure." And so there was like a little hesitation. I don't have to explain you why,
Yes.
and so we're really proud of that because no more.
Yes.
Now I don't have to stand there anymore.
Yes.
People don't stop
Yes.
anymore. People cross because they know, and it worked both ways. And so also other stories I love. So I'm on the other side of the track. So there's a group. Sometimes I go with groups, and people who live there, who have their shops there, don't refer to the photographers or to the photographs of the photographers. They ask the people coming there, "Don't you love our photographs?" Because
Yes, there's that ownership
there's
piece.
that ownership. So, and I think I'm really proud of that because I think any time in the whole United States, this is a problem that's much wider. It's not us in Wilson. It's a problem worldwide. When we can bring people together from different communities, it's always a victory.
Well, let me tell you this. I am a state Martin Luther King commissioner appointed by the governor, and we are big on diversity. And so I'm really loving your added piece, and you're letting people know that it brings people together. I mean, photography is life.
Yes.
And it's not limited to one side of the track. And I just want to thank you for that. And I will mention that to our governor and let him know what you're doing. So we'll be up a little bit.
Good, fantastic.
But just really, really appreciate your being here on my show today. Lady J's Montage.
Thank you so much for having me.